Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Got a little bit of voice back today, so that's not too bad, is it? Today I thought I'm going to do the next 6 stages. That's stages 9 to 14 of the Deagostini Collectibles release and build Jeff Gordon's Chevrolet Monte Carlo. You know, I was going to do Darth Vader today, but I figured we've done 2 figures. We did the RoboCop before I went away, and obviously yesterday we did the Iron Spider, so I thought today, let's go and do a 1/8 vehicle. And what better one than the NASCAR, Jeff Gordon's NASCAR. Now, another reason I wanted to do that today is because I had a free gift, and I'm guessing, I haven't opened it yet, that this is a mug. So let's just have a quick check of this. Opening this up here, we do have a Jeff Gordon mug, as you can see there. Now, I have got mugs falling out my ears, so I'm not going to be keeping this. So if you want this mug, just put it in the comments and just say you're interested in the mug. I will pick someone randomly and get your details, and I'll get this sent to you. So I'm not going to keep this myself, but that does come with this build. Now, also on these builds, as you see, everything comes in a little box like this. So it comes in a big brown box, but all the parts are in here. Now, the fact that I've got 6 stages in here, it looks like they're tiny, means I think we're going to be working completely on the engine today. So I don't know how long that's going to take. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. There's also that QR code on the screen. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So, is it the engine today? Let's have a look. This is stage 9. Here's the magazine. And yep, we've got parts for the engine here, which we're going to be adding on just like that. So let's do that first. Now, if you're in the US, you'll just have to advise me on something that I'm not sure of. I don't think you get the magazines out there. I could be wrong, but I think all of your instructions are online. I think it's only in the EU and UK that you do get these magazines. But if I am wrong, please tell me. Okay, looks like fiddly stuff today. Gonna need my magnifying glasses. Okay, in stage 8, where we left it last time, we had this transmission case cover. It looks like this. I'm going to need this now. And I've got these 2 little tabs to put in each side. So one's going to go in here. They are slightly different from each other, so you will need to look at your instructions online just to tell the difference. They're held in from the other side with AP screws. So let's get those open. Yeah, it is welcoming to have my voice kind of coming back at the moment, slowly. So, as you can see, I've got one in that side. Let's just put the one in the other side. There is a keyhole pattern here, so they can only go in one way. And they're both in like that. So, putting this onto the side of the transmission that we did last time here. We're just going to be matching these 3 lugs into the 3 holes and pushing that in. There you go. That's in. Now, keeping it this way round, you can see we've got some holes here. I've got a plate to put on here. That's just going to be going into the position just here, like that. Now, it's going to be held in with 3 AAM screws. Now, I'm going into metal, so I have touched these in a tiny bit of oil. And I'll put the middle one in first. That'll keep it lined up. So then I can put the bottom 2 in. Now, just looking at the little parts we're putting on the engine at the moment, this is going to be a very detailed engine. That's good. So now we've got that in, I'm going to be putting this section in now. Now, this is actually fitting on top of this section here, so it's going to go in just like that there. Probably best on the top camera. So I've got these AP screws, and I attach that from the opposite side. Once again, this takes 3 screws, and then once that's in, I've got a fascia here just to put over the front, which is just a push to fit. Excellent. So what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be taking this little rod here, and it's going to be pushed into the bottom of this section just here. So when that's in, looks like that. Then I've got this linkage here, which is going to hold this into the engine mount there. We've got 2 little lugs, so one goes in the hole here and the other side's just going to go into the other side of this rod. So when it's in, it should look like that. Then I'm going to be taking the medium size rod, and that's just going to be going into the top point just here. Get that in. And the other side is going to be going onto this tab that we put in right at the start. There you go. That's in like that. And then finally we've got the long rod here. That's going to be going into the hole that we've got left there. And the other side is going into the hole on this side. Probably best to put that one in first, actually. There you go. Excellent. There you go. That's how those three rods look. Okay. I've then got the slip yoke cross piece to put in into the end of the transmission here. And I want to hold that in each side with AP screws. There you go. And that's in just like that. Put that to one side. It's going to be bringing over now the starter motor. I want to be attaching the starter motor to the solenoid. I've got the solenoid here. So that's just going to be pushing next to it into there like that. It's held in from the underside with an AP screw. And the starter motor, you can probably see we've got a place for that to go in here. So it fits in just like this. And then I want to put an AP screw just to screw that into position here. Not the easiest thing to get in, but I've got that in there. As you can see, I got a bit worried because I've had some things fall out, so I need to put these back in. The last thing I haven't put on was this cap here. Don't like being left with parts. That actually goes on the starter motor. Let me just find that again. That goes on this end of the starter motor here, so I can still get this in. Just like that. And with that in position, that is all there is to do in that stage. I can see now this is going to be some quite involved stages. This is stage 10 here. As you can see, we've got some wires here. Oh, we're going to be doing some stuff here. Look at this. Putting this all together like this. This is all the HT leads by the look of it. Wow, going into the distributor. Okay, let's get this open. That looks like quite a mess in there. Now, once again, I could use that technique of putting a wire down these tubes. I'm not going to do it at the moment until I see how messy these tubes actually are. But I am going to need my sprue cutters, and I'm going to be wanting to cut all of these from the sprue here. You do want to make sure you cut them so that the nipples are still attached to them. Okay, so we've got the top of the distributor here. This is going to be going just into the position on top of here. It's pushing that down. Now I want to put it in so that this notch here is in or pointing towards the center of the engine here. So it's going to go in that way round. Okay. Now I need to put all of these into position, and I am going to glue these in, but they do go in different directions. So what I'm going to do is put them all on. I'm going to glue each pin into position, and then that way I can show you what way around these actually all go. Right, it does look like they give you some spares, but when they're all in, that is how they should look. Excellent. Let them dry. Now we do have this valley here. We need to put a valley cover on, which looks like that. That's just going to go into the holes just here and here. So line it up, push that into place. There you go, that's in position. Now on this end, I do have some leads to put into this. One there. And one here. So they're pointing out towards this side of the engine. Then I've got a great big one, which is going to be going out the top with the silver side going in first. So that looks just like that. That's all three of those nozzles coming out the side there. Now, it's time that we start cutting this pipe down. Not looking forward to this. Okay, so the first one we're putting in is 10H04, which needs to be 140 millimeters. Now, before I put these in, I've just realised that on the other side of my engine block, I hadn't put these nozzles in, or these connectors, so I'm just going to do that now. So that means that we've got connectors on both sides now. So back to this lead, 140 mils. We're going to be putting this one on first. So this will be going on the point just there. And this one's going to go into the very end plug just over here. Just like that. Now I'm guessing we're going to be tidying these wires up in a second with these grips here. Okay, so once I've got that one in, I'm going to be cutting another length of 140 mils. And that one's just going to be going into the end here. And the other side's going to go onto the distributor point just at the top here. I then need 2 lengths of 110 mils. I've already cut one here. They're going to be into the last 2 pegs here. And they go to the plugs just on this side here. But this one, it goes into the one just at the back here. Probably going to need my tweezers to help me here. And then finally just one in the end here, which just goes into this end one here. There you go. So they're all in that side just like that. Going to be doing this side now. So again, I need 2 lengths of 140. So one comes from this far point here. That goes into this back plug over here. Then one in this plug just on this side, which is going to go into this end plug here. The way I'm putting these in, to me, tells me that these are following a firing order. I'm just going to continue following these instructions here. This is the last one going in on this side. And there you go. So, leads are in both sides here. They're going to need a lot of tidying up by the look of it. The only thing that hasn't got a lead is this center plug here. We're going to make that up now, which means I need this adapter here. Now on this adapter, I'm going to be putting 2 lengths of 70 mils on each side. So let's just get them in first. One there, one this side. And then finally, the one that's coming down the middle here is just a length of 40 mil, just like that. Now I'm putting the short one into this point just here on the plug that we've got left in the center. And the other 2 ends of this, which I am going to glue into this adapter, are going to be going onto the plugs just each side here. And I am just going to rotate them round to the way they've got them in the magazine here. So as you can see, they're all in. Now we're going to be using these little clips here, which are going to try to tidy a lot of these wires up. So I think I'll do this bit off camera because this is going to be a little bit difficult, I think. There you go, that tidies it up not too bad actually, as you can see just there. Do the same on the other side. There you go. They're all in position. That's all there is to do in that stage. That was tricky. This is turning out to be one hell of a pack. Well, I really picked it today, didn't I? Okay, stage 11 is the next stage. See loads of pieces on here as well, which we're going to be creating, which is the air filter and carburettor. Putting this together and then adding this to the top just like that. Okay, so let's get all of this out. The first thing I want to do is I want to match up the left manifold here to the left side just here. So this is the left. That's going to go in just like that. It's held in from the other side with an EP screw. Actually, it's 2 EP screws. And there you go. What we've done on one side, we're just going to be doing on the other side with the right hand side there. And again, EP screws to hold these in. And there we go. That's perfect. Put that to one side. Now I want to bring over this little box for the carburettor here. Got a detail just to put in this side here. That's just a cap which looks just like this, which I'm just going to push into position. There you go. Just like that. I've got one that's going to go in the other side here. Perfect. Put them in at an angle and then push them up like that. That's the way to get those in. And then on the back of these, I've just got these brackets here to go on. Now, they go on just like that. And they're held in with an EP screw. And what we've done on one, we do on the other. So that's how those carburetors should look. Now on this base plate for the carburetors, we're going to be putting these into position. So I've got one going just on this side here. Now these are held in with flanged FP screws. And then the other one is going to go on the other side just here. All that's left to do then is just to take this top. This is going to go into or in between these two parts here. It's a tight squeeze, but as you can see, that goes in fine. Once again, an EP screw to hold that in. Just from the bottom there. Bring over the manifold that we had. And I want to make sure that the back section here is facing towards the left side. So this is going to go on this way. And I'm securing that with AP screws, which I've got in this bag. And I need 4 of these to hold this into position. Very detailed engine, this one. I do like these builds. So there you go. That's in position. And now I just want to take these intake manifolds here. I'll be putting these along the edges here. So I want to make sure they're matched up with the sides that they are. So this is the right one. I want the left one to go in the left side. They're going to fit on just like that. Now these are held in with EP screws. And that's the left one done. Turn it over. I'll just do the right hand side one. And there we go. That's how that's looking. Pretty impressive, huh? Okay, we're just going to make the air filter now. And that's just a case of pushing the top of this into this rubber section here. So that's one side. And then just put the other side in here. This one is directional, but you can't go wrong because the holes won't line up if you put it the wrong way around. There you go. That is how it's looking now. Bring over the top here, and this is where we can attach this now to the bottom of the actual cover. Push this in, and that's in lovely. Bring over the carburetor again. I'm going to be putting in the fuel supply pipeline. That's just going to go into the ends here, and on the other side here. Might need to just pinch them together to get these to fit, but that's in just like that. Bring over the engine, and we're going to put this manifold in by just unhooking it between the wires there. Don't want to pinch any wires, you see. I'll get this into position. Making sure everything's in the right way, which it is. And there you go. Push that down. That's the carburetor in place. That's looking good. Looking quite neat, actually. Then I'm just going to be putting the air filter just on top here. So it's a case of lining that up with the hole there. And putting an EP screw down the top. And there you go. That looks really good. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, I don't like to have overly long videos. So you know what? This pack I'm splitting down. So we've got stages 12, 13 and 14 to do, which are quite detailed. We're going to be doing a lot of the pulleys in the next few stages here, up to 13. So I am going to break these down. I love it when there's loads to do. I don't love it when there's loads to do and I have to edit it afterwards. But at the moment, the recording time for this is 1.5 hours. I don't know what this is going to edit down to. But the engine is looking really good at the moment. Once again, let me just show you how that's looking with the air filter on. Pretty impressive. So we'll leave it there. We'll come back to that in the next couple of weeks. But if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. There's also that QR code on the screen. But I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Remember, if you really want a chance of just getting that cup sent to you, just put a comment in saying I'm interested in the mug. Other than that, take care.